Finally, the California government was forced to back down in the face of what SpaceX has achieved and continues to achieve for humanity. Recently, the California Coastal Commission, CCC, was compelled to apologize to Elon Musk and SpaceX after opposing the company's effort to increase Falcon 9 launch frequency. At first glance, it seemed this would clear the path for SpaceX, but not quite. Several barriers still remain unresolved, continuing to create challenges for the company and for the ambitious vision of the world's richest man, Elon Musk. So, what exactly has the California government done to SpaceX and Elon Musk, even after issuing that apology? And more importantly, what options does SpaceX have to overcome it? Let's find out on today's episode of Alpha Tech. Recently, on April 29th, the California Coastal Commission issued a formal written apology to Elon Musk and SpaceX. Both SpaceX and the California Coastal Commission jointly asked the court to dismiss the lawsuit. One of the most significant terms of the settlement was the commission's official apology. The CCC acknowledged that certain commissioners made statements during the October 10th, 2024 hearing and related proceedings that reflected political bias against SpaceX and Elon Musk. The commission admitted those remarks were inappropriate and formally apologized to both Musk and SpaceX. The settlement also included a commitment that the commission will not consider political beliefs, political speech, or labor practices of SpaceX or its executives in any future regulatory decisions involving the company. The CCC further reaffirmed that irrelevant factors should play no role in its official duties. Another major outcome was the reduction of regulatory burdens on SpaceX. The Commission agreed that it will not require coastal development permits for most Falcon 9 launch operations at Vandenberg, including the two primary Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy launch sites, SLC-4 and SLC-6. This gives SpaceX long-term certainty for missions launching from the base. Both parties also requested dismissal of the lawsuit while allowing the federal judge to retain jurisdiction in case enforcement of the agreement becomes necessary in any future disputes. The settlement effectively resolved the two central issues in the conflict, the permit dispute and allegations of political bias, all without the need for a full trial. This is highly significant news and can be seen as a major victory for SpaceX against what many viewed as unnecessary interference from certain government agencies driven more by one-sided thinking than by national interest. From the beginning, Elon Musk and SpaceX appeared confident in their legal position, showing little interest in compromise and instead pushing for a decisive resolution. In the end, the outcome seems to validate that confidence. Musk also reposted the Commission's apology letter on X without adding any comment, serving as both a public statement and a quiet signal of his determination to defend Falcon 9 launches well into the future. For those who may have forgotten about this case, it took SpaceX more than a year to reach this outcome. Vandenberg is federal property, and SpaceX has been launching Falcon 9 rockets from the base for many years. In 2024, the U.S. Air Force, which manages the base, sought to significantly increase the annual launch cadence, with some proposals allowing up to around 50 launches per year. However, on October 10, 2024, the California Coastal Commission, CCC, the state agency responsible for regulating coastal development, voted 6-4 against the expansion. The commission argued that SpaceX needed a California coastal development permit for the increased operations. Officials cited environmental concerns such as sonic booms, potential impacts on wildlife, including seals and public beach access. The situation became far more controversial during the public hearing, when several commissioners made remarks referencing Elon Musk's political views, his support for Donald Trump, and his posts on X. Frankly, many saw this as a personal attack against Musk, with the broader aim of slowing SpaceX's growth. The company responded forcefully. Gwynne Shotwell stated that those comments clearly demonstrated political bias and argued that the commission's opposition was driven more by retaliation than by genuine environmental concerns. Vandenberg Space Force Base contracts with SpaceX because its launches provide valuable capabilities that support military objectives. Given the close relationship between SpaceX and the U.S. military officials, argued that Falcon mission operations should be classified as federal activity, and therefore fall outside the CCC's regulatory authority. In that case, the military's only obligation to the Commission would be to mitigate impacts on wildlife, something it had already agreed to do. The Commission repeatedly pushed back, insisting that because Falcon 9 also serves SpaceX's private commercial interests, the launches were private activity, and therefore subject to state oversight. It would have been a different matter if the CCC had raised substantial environmental concerns that the Air Force and Space Force had failed to address. Instead, many believe the decision stemmed from hostility toward Musk's social media comments, which had nothing to do with Falcon 9 operations. Because of this dispute, SpaceX filed a lawsuit titled Space Exploration Technologies Corp., SpaceX versus California Coastal Commission et al. In the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California before Judge Stanley Blumenfeld, Jr. The case continued into 2025 with several procedural developments. Judge Blumenfeld initially dismissed some portions of the complaint, but allowed SpaceX to amend it. More importantly, several retaliation claims were allowed to proceed even as the Air Force continued independently approving launches from Vandenberg. In a written statement, the Coastal Commission said that serious concerns remained regarding increased launch activity and its effects on coastal resources. The state cited issues such as restrictions on public coastal access, harm to sensitive species and coastal habitat, as well as the frequency and intensity of sonic booms. This also suggests that even though the California Coastal Commission has now issued an apology, future Falcon launches from Vandenberg may still face obstacles. If not over this issue, then perhaps over others potentially created by officials within the agency who remain unfriendly toward Elon Musk. For this reason, SpaceX should consider which coastal locations would be more welcoming to their missions and rocket launches. Yes, none other than Florida. The long-standing capital of U.S. rocket launches offers SpaceX the ideal launch site. First, let's talk about the close, solid relationship between SpaceX's leader Elon Musk and the head of the state of Florida. Musk has long had a strong rapport with Governor Ron DeSantis. DeSantis holds SpaceX and Musk in high regard, consistently creating favorable conditions for the company's growth in Florida, even introducing legislation to further boost SpaceX's strength in the state. This support has made Florida a standout as a place where top aerospace companies find everything they need to turn their cutting-edge ideas into reality. In Florida, aerospace companies have a footing in the new space economy, or any aerospace market, with direct access to established infrastructure, a skilled workforce, and an environment geared for innovation. Only Florida offers an unmatched experience, exclusive financial tools, and a prime location over other regions. In appreciation of this support from Florida's leader, Musk has also shown an impressive attitude in return. Elon Musk has spoken positively about Florida's business environment. SpaceX has a significant workforce at the Space Coast, with rocket manufacturing and launch facilities in Cocoa and Cape Canaveral. In 2021, Musk said he discussed with DeSantis reducing Miami traffic with tunnels built by his boring company. In 2022, after Hurricane Ian, Florida partnered with SpaceX to provide internet to severely impacted areas via the company's Starlink satellites. At this point, some might think hurricanes are a clear downside to Florida. That's not entirely wrong, as Florida, being a tropical state, is prone to severe storms. So, why risk expensive equipment with potential bad weather, or even hurricanes? First off, bad weather can happen anywhere. Even on the West Coast, specifically in California, you could face earthquakes while the Midwest is Tornado Alley. This reality means that not only Florida, but all agencies and launch systems across U.S. coastlines must contend with nature's challenges, and contingency plans are always in place for rocket launches. Of course, with these preparations, the weather shouldn't pose a significant challenge for SpaceX at this location. Besides the advantages I mentioned earlier, Florida is more convenient for launches than ever because it's close to the ocean. Launch site in Florida, Cape Canaveral, is located along the east coast of the United States, so rockets can be safely launched to the east over the open waters of the Atlantic Ocean. If there is an issue with the rocket after liftoff spaceflight, operators can safely put it down in the Atlantic Ocean without endangering the public. Modern-day rockets are also comprised of multiple stages. When one stage runs out of fuel, it can be shed from the rocket and fall into the ocean without harm. SpaceX has taken advantage of this, sending a floating platform out in the Atlantic Ocean, where the first stage of its Falcon 9 rockets can land after sending its payload into space. Some rockets also return to the Florida coast, where they land not far away from where they blasted off moments prior. The next advantage that SpaceX has to increase its launch rate in Florida is its proximity to the equator. The west-to-east rotation of the Earth causes all points on Earth except the poles themselves to move eastward with some velocity. This eastward velocity is greatest at the equator, with the Earth rotating at a speed of roughly 1,040 miles per hour, and decreases as you travel away from the equator, eventually reaching zero, directly over one of the poles. SpaceX can take advantage of the Earth's natural rotation by launching eastward from Florida, specifically from the Cape Canaveral launch complex. The speed at which the Earth rotates in Florida is roughly 914 miles per hour, helping to give rockets some extra speed to reach their destination. While it is not impossible to launch rockets from higher latitudes, the extra speed boost from the Earth's rotation saves on fuel that would be used to help the rocket achieve the proper speed. As a result, a rocket launching from Florida can send a heavier spacecraft or satellite into space. So just imagine what would happen if SpaceX permanently moved its Falcon rocket launches out of California. Yes, the economic impact on the region would be impossible to ignore. It is undeniable that California is an economic hub of the United States. When we look at it, we might think that just leaving Tesla or X, and especially SpaceX, won't significantly change the market here. However, in reality, SpaceX has brought much more to California than we realize. As one of the most prominent private space companies in the world, SpaceX has maintained its primary operations within California, bringing numerous benefits to the state. The company's headquarters and main manufacturing facilities are located in Hawthorne, California, in the Los Angeles metropolitan area. This strategic placement has created a substantial economic impact on the region. SpaceX employs thousands of workers in high-skilled positions, ranging from aerospace engineering to advanced manufacturing, while fostering a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship that extends beyond the space sector, contributing to California's reputation as a hub for technological innovation and skilled labor. California's economy benefits directly from SpaceX's presence through job creation, tax revenue, and the stimulation of local businesses. The company's operations have led to the growth of a robust supply chain within the state, with many suppliers and contractors based in California to support SpaceX's ambitious projects. SpaceX's operations in California have also led to increased collaboration with educational institutions and research facilities in the state. These partnerships have helped to promote STEM education and advanced aerospace research, ensuring that California remains at the forefront of technological advancement and maintains a pipeline of skilled workers for the future. Therefore, we can see that the absence of SpaceX in California would make the region feel quite bleak, and the value that SpaceX brings is something that other businesses may not be able to replicate. Looking further, it seems that the California government is trying to punish Elon Musk by attacking his company. They dislike Musk because of his outspoken nature and his ability to reveal uncomfortable truths. This has led to the perception that Musk is not particularly supported by government officials.